Hey everybody, just got back from Flatfest and wanted to talk about awnings for a minute here. Meant to do a video a few weeks ago about how I mounted up my awning, and this is a perfect opportunity. I can do that as well as kind of a PSA. So at Flatfest we got wet, made it more fun in many ways, but awning got wet, so I'm home completely unpacked, unfolded the awning so that it can completely dry out before I put it back in and put it away till the next time I use it. So the PSA for everybody out there is, if you get wet or when you get home, you'll make sure you're getting your stuff out and you're getting it dry, you're getting it clean, and getting it put away properly so that it's there to serve you when you need it the next time. So this is video 2. Probably overdue, you would say, and you're probably right, on things that I use on the Orbis Crosstrack. And since I've got the awning deployed, we're going to talk about the awning a minute. So this is not the awning that I would have had on a few weeks ago. This one just went on last week. This is the Rome 6.5 by 8, and this awning is brand new to me, and I'm a brand new distributor for Rome. Really impressed with it over the weekend at Flatfest here. It worked out really well. Coming off a YesCom, which is an awning that worked great, but there's definitely differences in the material, the metals that are used between this and the YesCom. But I mean, I really have nothing bad to say about the YesCom for the usage that I had and to get me started and the value that it was. No real issues with it at all. So a couple of things I'll just point out quick on the Rome differences than the YesCom. So your hinges here are metal. The YesCom that I had was plastic. All the tubing is a bit heavier. You can tell, I mean, I know it's a little bit bigger than the one I used to have, but you can tell it's just a little heavier in the material and things like that. The other big thing that kind of drove me a little bit nuts on the YesCom was just the rope that was included. And this certainly is simple. I mean, you could swap out your rope and get, I'm not sure the term is, better clasp for your tie downs. I mean, that you could easily do, and that would improve that on the YesCom. But what comes with the Rome does actually lock in place and lets you secure it from wind. You see I can push up on it and it's completely locked down. If it's going to be real windy or gets real windy at night, I would take it down. I wouldn't necessarily just leave it up or leave it up unattended. I also, if I'm out and it looks like it's going to rain, often I will put my tent under it, and then I'll dip one side so that there's runoff for the water. So at night when I come in, right now you can see it's deployed high enough that I can walk underneath it. But if I'm packing up and going to bed for the night, I got the tent underneath it. I will drop it down so that the water will shed off the front, and then we'll shed off the awning, because they will fill up with water, and I hate for that to damage it if you got into a big rain. So what I do get asked a lot about is how I mount it, and I mount mine to the basket. And the reason I do that is I like the idea that the basket can come off and all the stuff that's attached to the basket can kind of come right off with it. So even my chase lights and the wiring are on a quick release, and I could unhook those pretty quick, unscrew the basket, and just lift the basket right off. So then the awning and everything else goes. So all I did to mount it, I did the same thing on the S-Com, same bolts. So it uses the same head size for the bolts on the Roam as the S-Com. Again, the back plate is much heavier. The hardware that is included is nicer with the Roam, but it's the same size. So it was a real easy universal kind of fit. But you can see I've got a piece of steel. You can see it's steel because it's starting to rust. At some point I'll have to swap that out for a chunk of aluminum. But I just drilled it out so that I could get the bolts through it and simply sandwiched it on the side of the basket. So as simple as that. It rides nice. Obviously you need to, when you're mounting, make sure that your lift gate can still come up. This is the 6.5, so it does extend out the back, and it extends forward. I'll show you that here in a second. But otherwise, I had a couple of my fellow Third Coast Subies that came over, helped me lift it right on. It was super and easy install done that way. You can see in the Crosstrek the 6.5 does stick out over the windshield, but I do not see it when I am driving. It's above your field of view, so it doesn't interfere at all. Not sure you could get one longer. Now, if you did the 8 foot, it would really stick out, because I do have it almost all the way back to where the gate does, where it almost hits the gate. So you see with the gate up, there's just a little bit of room there. Could maybe came back a little further, but that's in a nice spot, nice and clear. I do right now. I've been taking my shovel off. The way the Velcro straps on the Roam they're in a different spot, and the shovel really gets in the way. So I think those quick fists are going to go over onto the passenger side wing. That'll take care of that problem. So there we go, all folded back up real nice. Even have the shovel back in place. So it rides down the road real nice like that. One thing I do like is they've got a double zipper on these two. That's pretty handy. So all in all, I'm super impressed with the Roam. So if you have any questions on awnings or mounting, feel free to let me know. If there's something else specifically in the car you'd like me to highlight next, leave me a comment, and appreciate you watching and hanging out. And if you haven't already, consider liking and subscribing the video for me. Thanks.